All right, everyone, this is Tim, this New York Giants Straight Talk, brought to you by the mighty FanDuel. That's FanDuel.com, the number one sports book in America. Oh, we got to talk about free agency as it's wrapping up. And the Giants have made some moves, and I've been getting this question a lot. And the question has been, how does this affect the win total? We got Christopher Lum of MMA, big coaches in the house. We got Greg, we got Joe, we got Mike Lee. Everyone's stopping in early this morning. Want to give a big shout out, of course, yesterday to the venerable Gary Reasons, who spent 2 hours with us yesterday. Not one, not two. Yeah, but two. Yeah, that would be two. Spent over 2 hours with you yesterday, so we got to give a big shout out to Gary. We have another guest coming up. We have another former Giant great. I'm not going to say whom yet because we are working on the date, but is like Gary, who is in the top 100 of all-time Giants. This is another this guest is another top 100 all-time Giant. So we're going to probably talk about that on Wednesday once we wrap everything else up. But herbologist and the goofballs, everyone's in his house. But everyone's talking about, well, the Giants have $25 million in cap space. Oh, the Giants still have all this money. Because I went on Sports Track, I went on these other websites, and I've looked at it, and they're telling me this what it is. Well, can I give you guys a little word of advice here? Those numbers are usually wrong. And I'm also want to talk about some contracts that were just triggered today. But the 25 million that people keep talking about, those numbers do not include Tremaine Edmonds. They don't include Newsome. They don't include Stout. They don't include Zany Barnes or Calvin Austin or Washington or Aaron Stinney or even Isaiah Likely yet. The restructure of the contract, and not even the restructure, the taking of Brian Burns' salary and converting it to bonus was to free up $15 million so we can make these moves. And don't forget, we have about we're going to need about another $12 million in cap space for our rookie club. Well, I would say between 7.5 to 12 million, depending on, because you got to remember the contracts, you only have to cover the guaranteed money. You got to cover your first rounder, your second rounder, and part of your third rounder. So you're still going to need about anywhere between 7 to 12 to 13 million. So, and this also does not include the Darnell Mooney trade signing. So there's still work that needs to be done. And at this point in time today, the triggers on the guarantees of the contract for two players, which would be Paulson Adebo and Holland, are now, their salaries for now 2026 are fully guaranteed. So you got 17.25 for Paulson Adebo, almost 13 for Holland. So you figure that they're going to, since the money's guaranteed, that they're probably going to convert that, a good portion of that money into bonus money, because bonus money is automatically guaranteed. So since their salary is guaranteed for the year, you just convert it. There's a portion that you can convert. There's a portion you're going to have to push out into your cap space. That's why now Brian Burns' cap number for 27 to 28 is now 44 million. But, like I said, you put yourself in these cap situations, you got to come up and fix this. So if you see in the near future that, Paulson Adebo's salary, a majority of his salary has been converted into a bonus. That's why, because bonuses are automatically guaranteed. Same thing with Holland. But we don't have all this money that we think. We don't have all this money that people are estimating that they have, which is fine. But I just want to make sure that we fully understand that right now. Also, we need to talk about some of these moves. And like I said, I'm happy with a lot of the moves the Giants made. The Mooney move, it's interesting because of the fact that this is a guy that can both play at the outside. He can both play the slot. He has a familiarity with, of course, Mr. Matt Nagy. So if you look at it from that perspective, the move makes sense. Is it going to be one of these spearhead moves that, he's got a lot of, I don't want to say it because I don't want to say it. He's got a lot of Mooney's got a lot of Darius Slayton in him. He's Darius Slayton without the drops. And that's why you have to look at Mooney. He's not this guy that's going to come in, and I don't think he's going to. He's never been this high production wide receiver outside of the 2021 season with the Bears. He's probably a guy that if you take a look on average, he's got to stay on the field. He's got to stay healthy. His best season was now going on 6 years, which was in 81. He did have 992 yards over in 24. He's very Slayton-esque. So I don't have a problem with it, but I do have, but like I said, he's also a guy that can play on the outside. He's also a guy that can play in the slot. He's going to be a guy that is going to have more ability. The problem is he's 5'11". So once again, we're getting a speedy, not big target. He's not 4'3" like the Munchkin, also known as the Wando Robinson. But he's a guy that can come in. He can contribute immediately. He is. I don't remember when he was drafted. He was a fifth rounder for the Bears. But he's a guy that can come in right now and help positionally and give you the ability to line up different options. The Giants are kind of flooding themselves in the wide receiver room. They're kind of flooding themselves in the cornerback room. They're trying to do the same with the safety position, but I have a lot of concerns about the safety position still as well. But these are guys that are, you get it as a Giant fan, you get excited that they made these signings. And a lot of people get excited because these guys are names or they're perceived names. Well, the problem is sometimes when you're signing perceived names, that's all they are. They're just names. And I've said it a million times before on the show. We've said it a billion times. People need to start worrying about the logo in the front and not the name on the back. And we have to fall into a system. And like I said, the Darnell Mooney trade is actually not official yet because it's still pending the physical. Played in 91 games with 80 career starts. Like I said, he is a guy, and we also picked up Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin is one of these guys that he's another 5'9", 162-pound punt returner / wide receiver / slot guy. He also, got to remember, he also re-signed Gunnar Olszewski. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think all of them are making this team. People talk about they're very excited about the Elijah Campbell coming on, the defensive back with a 5'11", 200-pound defensive back who played in 68 regular season games. 3 starts for the Jets and the Dolphins. Backup guy, which we need. Probably going to back up. He's probably going to join. He played with Holland. The Newsome, we talked about Greg Newsome. Oh, Greg Newsome wearing the Where's Waldo hat. Oh, dear Lord. 6 foot, 192 pounds. Listen, this guy's been terrible. Greg Newsome has been terrible the last 2 seasons. We've talked about Greg Newsome the day we signed him. The day we brought Newsome in, I posted his completion percentage against for the last 2 years. And it's over 72%. He has the Drew Phillips. He's got the Drew Phillips in him a little bit. It was 72%. It was 72% last year's completion percentage against with over like 600 yards, 400 yards. The year prior to that, it was 72% with over 600 yards. He gives up multiple touchdowns. He gives up big plays. He is a guy that he has never fulfilled the promise that people thought he had, and I don't know. Like I said, we don't know the full numbers. We know that it's $3 million probably guaranteed, up to $10 million in total. 25 was 53 of 78 for 67.9 for 641 yards and 5 touchdowns. 2024, 31 and 46 for 67.4% completion percentage of 470 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, he is yet to play up to expectations. He's another reclamation project, I believe, for Denard Wilson. But I don't know, guys. I can't. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is good. That he's it's a big number. It's a big name. Is it going to work out? There's a lot. Like I said, a lot of these guys just aren't going to be here. A lot of these guys are just not going to be around when we come down to this point of the season. So. It's one of those things when you look at it from that perspective, you just got to remember that you got to take it with a grain of salt. Mike Lee says, how long before Dawn for GM banner starts being held by fans? I already talked about this. I would not be shocked. We talked, and this is probably why Mike Lee's bringing this up. We talked about this like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. I think Dawn is going to be the first woman general manager of a NFL team. I think she's going to be the first official general manager. I really do. And honestly, if you take a look at her body of work, now people are going to complain about her work with the Jets and the Miami Dolphins, but if you take a look at her work and listen to the people, and I've talked to people that don't know her personally, but know her reputation with inside the NFL, she's an astute person. She understands numbers. She's been negotiating. She spent years negotiating contracts for the NFL, basically doing everything that she's doing now, but on a larger scale for the NFL. And the way you look at some of the way these contracts are structured, and we haven't gotten all the full details yet, but once we get all the full details, we get a better understanding. The Giants have added talent. The Giants have added, something. They really have added some talent. Have they added enough to win and move that needle? That's what we're going to talk about. Big Joe says, good morning, Tim. Caught the replay of the Reasons interview. Great long-form interview. Much better than the cookie-cutter 10, 20-minute stuff we usually see. Listen, most of our interviews that we have live, and I got to thank Gary Reasons for coming on again because it was awesome. Most of the interviews that we have live on this show are a couple hours long. And I always we always have the green room before the guest comes in. And I always tell the guest, listen, stay as long as you want. But I always say, how much time do we have with you today? And everyone always says, even Carl Banks said it, let's go like 20, 30 minutes and see how it goes. I got like 20, 30 minutes. And then I look at the clock and it's a couple hours later. And I love it because we got a big Big Don Funky Town dropping the super chat. Funky Town had a great question about Texas football, but everyone give a big shout out to Big Don from Funky Town. But I always tell people, you stay as long as you want, and then they usually stay a couple hours. The worst and the best was Amon Green. Amon Green, I did a pre-recorded interview with, and if you can go watch it, it's on the channel. And I laugh to this day because he's like, I got like 20 minutes. And then I was watching the clock because I was like, okay, 20 minutes, that's fine. I have about 2 hours before I got to go to school and pick up the kids. So we're going through the interview in a couple hours, and then all of a sudden I'm looking, and I'm late for picking up the kids, and he's still talking. He's still telling me a story. And I'm like, I got to go, dude. I said, we could go be friends later, but I got to go right now, pal. But yeah, Gary was great. A lot of great insight. Also, Gary has the book coming out. So I'm going to put his link in the chat for his book. He's got a launch part. He's got a book launch coming out. It's for a book called The Reasons to Believe. It's a sports book, but it's also a book about, about life, about, just about being the best person you can be. It's about his format and his platform that he talked about before. It's the Reasons to Believe leadership platform. So his book is launching on the 24th. You get it on the 24th. It's $1.49 for the download, and a portion of that goes to charity. So I put the link in the chat. Now here, if you go down the bottom of the chat, I got the link in the chat there for Gary's book. Go to his launch party. Go fill out this form. It takes like 2 seconds. It's just your name, it's your email address, and you can leave a personal note for Gary. And I can tell you right now, Gary reads all the notes. And I know he has responded to people. He reads all the notes. And what he'll do is when the book launches on the 24th, if you sign up on the link right now, I'm going to put it in there twice. What'll happen was you will get a link so you can go out and purchase the book. And I laugh because as we're on the show and I keep posting the link, you hear Gary's phone going bling, bling, and that's people signing up for the book. And I was cracking up because I told Gary, I said, it's very unprofessional that you have your cell phone on during this professional interview because I'm a dick. And he's like, no, he says, it's a good thing as people signing up. So if you want to say something to Gary, you got a question, you just want to leave a great comment, and also you get the link to the book. Go to, and it's also on the bottom of the page, I just see, to join the Gary Reasons to Believe launch team. All you do is you put in your name, first name, last name, email address. That's it. And you can leave a message. And I guarantee you, Gary, I'm going to guarantee this because I've said it before. I know personally. He reads the messages. He reads all the messages. And he's responded to a couple people. So, make sure you go out and do that. Former Giant Greg, give him some help here. Let me see here. Let's go back up. Hit that like button, says Mike Lee. Don't think so. Granted, special teams is a bigger upgrade, but the last few signings are depth pieces. They're all depth pieces. Right now, you are signing depth pieces. That's what you're doing. Because you still have to fill out this roster. But is the talent better than what we had last year? I can't tell you because of the fact that we have lost some talent. We have brought some talent in. But I will tell you this, Isaiah Likely is a legitimate. You had the Smurf playing in the slot at 3'9". You now got a guy that's over 6 feet, 6'4", big target, played 250 snaps in the slot last year, can play on the inside, can play on the outside, can play tight end. People need to stop with the blocking shit. I love it. He's an inline blocker. He's a zone blocker. Yeah, that means he can't fucking block. But we're not going to get it. And I love it because they posted these videos of him blocking. He's barely touching guys. They're like, oh, that was devastating. Great balls of fire. But you got a weapon for Jackson Dart on the inside and on the outside. Darnell Mooney, if you place him with a healthy, and I do hope a healthy Malik Neighbors right off the bat, you got a guy at a 10-year deal. I don't know what's guaranteed yet because it hasn't come down yet. That is going to be a comparable piece. And then you also still have Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton is an NFL professional. He is a professional guy. That's what it is. He is a professional. He's a professional wide receiver who has speed. If he can get rid of the oopsies, you have four guys that have speed, have ability, can go deep, can stretch the field, and understand that and can play multiple positions, not just on the outside, not just on the inside, not just, and none of them are, well, Darnell Mooney's only 5'10", but all of them are over 3'7". And then you pick up Patrick Ricard, 2 years, $7.63 million. Listen, I'm not gonna. The guy only plays the last 2 years has played in 39% of the offensive snaps. I'm not sure what Giant fans are expecting from him. I'm not sure because when you're only playing in 39% of the snaps, it's not like you're playing a lot. And he's done that the last 2 years. It will give you another blocker. It will give you a guy that can push forward. It can give you a guy that's going to move the pile. It's going to give you that big presence. I get that 100%. But I'm not sure how that's totally going to affect the running game. Same thing with Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin is another wide receiver, but he's a depth piece. He's a Gunnar Olszewski. They are going to compete. I really think the biggest move of this offseason, a couple of huge moves this offseason, was signing Jermaine Illuminor to a 3-year, $39 million deal. Because if you look at it and you look at where he played, his ability, the level that he played at last year, and compare the prices of the right tackles that play that position, we talked about it. They were between, like 11 and 17 million a year. We're getting this guy for almost 13 million a year. That's phenomenal in regards to the way he played. And you picked up depth pieces. The Evan Neal thing. Everyone's got their panties in a bunch with the Evan Neal shit. It's like, fucking relax. Evan Neal is on a veteran minimum non-guaranteed deal. This is a guy, in my mind, if you watched Evan Neal play in training camp last year, and I was at every open date except for one. If you watch the guy play, he was learning a new position. He was getting his feel, and that's not as easy as people think just to go learn a new position in the NFL. It's not. We've talked about this. It's not as easy as people think going from right tackle to left tackle because everything is reversed. Literally everything is reversed. But he deserves a chance and an opportunity to get some snaps because if you can convert him, if you can make him better than an Eric Flowers at guard, if you can get something out of him for $1 million a year, that goes a long way to helping take some financial responsibility and move it to different positions. If you can get anything out of Evan Neal that's competent enough that he could be, we'll say, a swing guard, he's got this. He never liked Evan Neal coming out of college. I talked about this. Thought he was slow getting into his stance. I thought his footwork was bad, but I thought he was mean, he was nasty, and he had this. I thought he was going to be a road paver. Never really saw that. But if you take a look at what he can do, if you move that mass into the, I don't need him to be laterally quick. I'm not going to pull him. I don't need him to be laterally quick. I don't need him to be laterally effective. I need a straightforward inline blocker because a lot of our guys are better at pass blocking than they are at run blocking. Jermaine Illuminor is a good example of that. But if you're going to go to a power rushing attack because you picked up Patrick Ricard, now there's talk about Love again, Jeremiah Love again out of Notre Dame being an option. And I already said, I don't mind Love because, and we talked about this because I love it because everyone's like, oh, now you're off Sonny Styles and you're on the Love. No, I'm not. I'm just saying Love would be if you need a bell cow back, but you need a back that can do multiple things in a John Harbaugh system, in a Matt Nagy system. If you watch Matt Nagy's offense in Chicago, you need a versatile back. And that fits Love, even though we still need the line. We still need a linebacker. How long? Oh, we already got to that one. We got our Big Joe. We got to the Big Joe. Caught the replay. Hit that like button, says Big Greg. How's he doing, good Big Greg? Let's see. Joe says, Harb's filling up two deep depth charts with capable pros from 2026 without hurting the team long-term financially. The results, the ability to spend as needed when a contender and no others needs based on draft. Like I said, it's been a while. But the Giants are doing things right. And after watching this team for the last 10 years and watching the ineptitude, they are doing things the right way. They are doing things correctly. They are not overpaying. They are not reaching for talent. They are letting and I kept telling people when we signed Likely, I was like, that's it. That's our big move. That's the big move. Everything else is going to be either re-signing or filling the roster. And they made some moves. Like I said, the Newsome move to me is questionable. I'm not going to say they make questionable moves because I don't know the full details of the contract. You could tell me the Newsome deal is only worth $3 million guaranteed, then I'm fine with that. But they're doing things the right way. They are building an offense around a young quarterback, but they are not overpaying for the pieces that they're getting. They know they have a guy on a 3-year, that's I should say, and Malik Neighbors, the guy now on the third year of a potential 5-year deal. So we have to start counting that clock. Now, I will say this, the defense, we forgot about Tremaine Edmonds. You solidified part of your linebacking core, one of your positions right then and there with Tremaine Edmonds, and you didn't send any assets and you didn't overpay because he would have been owed like $17 million because he was still on a 1-year deal. So he gets waived and you sign Tremaine Edmonds. You got the guy that you wanted. You got the more athletic, younger Bobby Okereke / Blake Martinez that's going to give you a nice nasty streak on your defense. Now, you also signed Micah McFadden back, but Micah McFadden with 13.9% missed tackle percentage. He does not. We went over the coverage numbers for Micah McFadden, and boy, that gave me a fucking headache. Because Micah McFadden cannot cover a bed with a blanket. Let's be honest. I think he had like an 80% completion percentage against over the last couple of years. So, but he could be not a solid run defender, but he's a good backup linebacker. If you're running a 4-down linebacker, if you're running 4 linebackers, he's a good 5th linebacker. And again, we did not overpay for him coming off the injury. Smash that like, says Big Chris for Love and May. Big Coach D, yes, sir, checking in front and center. Nice to see how many people wanting to come to New York now. It's nice, man. Remember when New York was a destination for free agents, even in baseball and basketball? We've kind of gotten away from that. Herbologist, what's up? Big Greg in the house. Big Phil. No, I am not telling you. And Phil McConkey is not a top 100 Giant, I don't think. But we have another top 100 Giant coming in. And if I confirm it Wednesday, I'm shooting for Sunday stream again. So I'm not going to guarantee it's going to be like a Carl Banks and a Gary Reasons where this guest stays for 2 hours. But I am going to tell you this. There is another top 100 Giant, top 100 all-time Giant that will potentially, if things go well, be here on Sunday. That's just because everyone wants to be on the show. Lord knows fucking why. Oh, let's get to the big policy. Tim, Tim predicts who's playing right guard for us in 2026. I don't know. Honestly, if Paul, if I had to bet on who's playing right guard for us, I couldn't even tell you. Because I'm not sure if John Runyon's going to be here. I'm not sure Van Roten's going to come back. I'm not sure who we're going to. There's some guys in the draft that I like at the guard position, but not we're hindered a little bit by that. We're hindered by a little bit by not having the third round pick. We only have 3 picks we only have 2 picks in the first 107. So it literally is a crapshoot. It literally is a crapshoot. So we're going to have to kind of wait and see how the draft plays out. I've talked about some of the guys I liked in the draft. I don't know what they're going to do with John Runyon yet. I don't know what they're going to do with Runyon yet. I mean, you still need cap space. You still are probably going to have to restructure. Like I said, now that the guaranteed money has kicked in for Paulson Adebo and Holland, you can convert 80% of that salary into a bonus, which then lowers their cap hit and gives you more cap space. And you're not really doing anything because the money's already guaranteed now. I mean, I'm not extending Dexter Lawrence. I'm not moving any money from Andrew Thomas. There are more moves that are going to be done. But we're gonna have to wait and see. Was talking the Sims, but I think you knew that. I was talking the Sims. I thought it was Phil McConkey. I don't know. I was tired, man. AJ Morrison, what's up, big AJ? Said last week I said Dirk Pitts rise the Titanic, couldn't salvage Evan Neal. I guess we'll see if I have to retract that. Listen, I don't have an issue with the Evan Neal signing. I really don't. When we were so bad. And we were still, when we knew we were out of contention. And this is one of the things I kind of hated about Brian Dable. We didn't just put Evan Neal in. See what a 6'7", 340-pound guard can do. See what can happen. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? He's going to fail and look hard? Well, he's done that for 29 out of 29 games. Out of 29 games played, he started 27. He's done that already, but he hasn't always looked horrid. That's what I don't understand with people. If you take a look, what's funny? If you take a look at the number of snaps that he has played, he played 13 games and started 13 games 2022. Evan Neal. He played in 68% of the snaps. In the 7 games he played in 2023, he played in 97% of the snaps. And I will say this about Evan Neal. He was right in one regard. The burger comment was just stupid, but he was right in one regard. He said, I could play 50%. I could play 50 snaps. 47 of the snaps could be technically sound, and I could play well. I could give up a sack or I could give up a pressure on the other 3, and I had a bad, according to the fans, I had a bad game. He's not wrong. And if you bring him in for the veteran million, it's like a little over $1 million. It's non-guaranteed. Evidently, John Harbaugh loves his size. 7th overall pick. It's worth a gamble. It's worth a shot. Why not? It's worth it. Sorry I was behind. That's okay. I don't know what you were behind, but that's all right. Where was I? Let's give them something to talk about. Again, we got to give the big shout out to Funky Town. This is a 10-7 team. Well, Cassius Clay, listen, man, you might have taken too many punches. This is not a 10-win team yet. You have and Gary Reasons talked about it yesterday about this versatility, about running a true 3-4. And how having these hybrid players and these guys play at linebacker who aren't just learning their position and learning their trade and doing what they're taught to do, it's kind of a detriment to the Giants running game. And we did it. I got something in my nose. We got a great short that I played about how he would fix the Giants run defense. And I have that short up. And the Giants still have the same problems on defense. You're still light in safety. You have a bunch of corners that have come to the Denard Wilson School of Cornerbacking that have to turn the corner. You really only have one linebacker still. Like I say, Micah McFadden is a good 5th linebacker. You got one linebacker. You have a defensive line that the last 2 years has given up 5 yards a carry. You have the most amount of cap space in the entire league situated in the defensive line. Out of the other 31 teams, we are paying the most out of all the other 31 teams for the defensive line and cap space. And you still have 3 undersized defensive ends who can't play linebacker and a nose tackle we are not 100% sure can fit in a 3-4 system. So you have improved the offense. 100%. You get Love. You figure out a couple more things with the offensive line. The Giants under Matt Nagy, and I've said this before, you run a 94 style George Seifert 49ers West Coast offense. It's the one that propelled Steve Young to the Super Bowl and the MVP. You have the pieces to run that. And I always talk, we're going to do a whole video on that. We're going to do a whole video on the 94 Seifert offense and how it can relate to what the Giants have now pieces. You have a chance. You have a chance to be offensively, you have a shot. Defense still needs a lot of work. That's why I keep thinking you're not going to go. I think the Love is a smokescreen. I still think you're going linebacker. I think the Love is a smokescreen. And Love is, according to Pat Benatar, Love is a battlefield. I'll wait for the younger people to Google that. But that's what you need. That's what you need to think about for a minute. That's where you need to go. So if I'm the Giants, the first 2 picks, unless I can't find a guard, I'm going defense. I have the thought process of maybe trading out of 5, going down like 10 or 11, pick up Caleb Downs, and then get a linebacker if I could get back into the first round. If I could trade 5 and get 2 first-round picks, maybe a swap and maybe a lower, like a 30th pick or 28th pick, or get a second rounder. I'm probably going to go. I would then probably go Caleb Downs and a linebacker, because there are multitudes of linebackers in this draft. And like I said, we've talked about this with some people. We talked about this a bunch of times, and we talked about this with Ryan Robinson, A to Z Sports, who does the NFL draft analysis for A to Z Sports. We had him on. We talked about the fact that this is not a good draft. This is not a deep draft. This is not a star-studded draft. This happens. 2027 is going to it should be a phenomenal fucking draft. But for the Giants' needs, this is a good draft. That's why it's kind of funny, because last year I thought the Giants were forced kind of into taking Abdul Carter. I've said it before. I'm saying it again. I just don't see it yet. I hope to God I'm wrong. But we were kind of forced into that pick. I said last year there's two players in last year's draft that in my mind had bust written all over them. That was Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter. And we had an opportunity to take either one. That's why I would have traded out of 3 and gotten Tyler Warren. But if you need a linebacker, this is a good enough draft. You need a safety, this is a good draft. And I've said it before, if you can't get a Sonny Styles, I would be happy in the later rounds getting a J.C. Allen out of Georgia. The big kid out of Texas, Anthony Hill. I like him. I've said it before. He's moving up the boards. I love Josiah Trotter. That's Jeremiah Trotter's kid. He's a physical guy who trusts his own reads. He's a downfield tackler. Watch his film. The dude does not fucking hesitate. He's not a 3-down linebacker guy. That's why I can grab him later in the draft. He's not a 3-down guy. But he's big, he's strong, he's physical, downhill tackler, and is not going to allow people to get past that and get far into that second level. And like I said, Jacob Rodriguez, I know we always laughed about Jacob Rodriguez, but he is another guy. He is, all he does is at 6'1", he's probably 6 feet at 230. All he does is tackle. We joke about the stash, and I love the stash. I love the hair. Projected 3rd-round pick. All he does, and what's funny? He was a dual threat quarterback, which literally kills me. He is what they refer to as a guy that is a leader. He is a 2-year captain. Jacob Rodriguez is. He has this understanding, and I love it because people are saying he seems to have this understanding in reference to where he needs to be. He won the Chuck Bednarik, Dick Butkus, and Bronco Nagurski Award and Lombardi Award for being a linebacker. He is a sideline to sideline guy. And I love it because he just seems to be, people are like, well, you know what? He seems to have the ability to read the quarterback and figure out where he needs to be in coverage. Well, yeah, because he was a fucking dual threat quarterback in high school in Texas. Where's Big Don? This dude, Rodriguez, threw up for over 7,000 yards, 68 touchdowns, and rushed for another 3,000. Texas Tech kid. It makes sense. And like I said, for the Giants, this draft is, while it may not be good for the rest of the league, we should figure out a way to compile picks. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you don't hit the like button, you know what's going to happen? I don't know. Probably nothing. Let's just make her head coach. Yeah. No, she's not going to head coach. The other part of this whole rebuild, people forget, is all those two. You're right. We don't forget it here. Big James Stein says, I would not mind if Dawn took over for Joe because Joe is a cluster at the end. This is at the end of the story. I agree. Big Slider, what's up, brother? Like I said, if Dawn, and we talked about this weeks ago. We actually talked about this when they signed Dawn. If they allow Joe Shane to run out his contract and they just let him go, they do an in sync and go bye and let his motherfucking ass go. I see Dawn becoming the general manager because she's basically doing the job now. Graham, what's up, Big Graham? Giants' new receiving weapon is good and a bad thing. Good we have weapons, bad because Dart exposed for being a bad passing quarterback. I'm not allowed to talk about that yet. James Williams is going to tell me when I am able to talk about how we keep accumulating vertical threats. But one of the things that Jackson Dart does not do well is go vertical. Now, I'll talk about that yet. James will tell me when I can talk about it. Right, James? You're going to tell me when I can talk about it. I wrote a great comment. All right, well, where is it, Greg? Didn't I read your great comment? Didn't I read your great comment? Oh, maybe I missed your great comment. Let's see. Well, if they can fix Deonte Banks, maybe they can fix Greg Newsome too. But the problem is this. They need to fix Deonte Banks. They need to fix Greg Newsome. They need to fix Drew Phillips. They need to fix Holland. I worry that that especially myself, that we are placing a lot of things being fixed on Denard Wilson. I worry about. I hope Denard Wilson comes in and fix everybody. I hope this guy comes in and he is freaking awesome. But there's a lot to fix. There's the fine. I'm fine where she is now, Drew. Let's see here. Dawn for GM, isn't she a fucking scout? But Greg Newsome is worse than Galvin Newsome. We've got more reclamation projects in the Pacific Palisades. We gotta go two for two there. That was pretty funny with the Gavin Newsom thing. Let's see here. Who joined Gary Reason's leadership team? Come on, I'm gonna put the link in the chat for Gary again. Let's do it for number 55. He's trying to push his book to number 1 and make it that an Amazon bestseller. And that book is Reasons to Believe. Right here. There it is. With Gary Reasons. Bill Parcells wrote the foreword. It's a mixture of a leadership training. It's a mixture of being what I was taking a perception of it was a mixture of doing things the right way. And there's the whole yes portion of the book. There is the reason to believe philosophy. So if you go into the link, like I said, all you have to do is go to the link that I just put in the chat. Go to it, and I just put it in there. There it is right there. Gary Reason's RT book. Click on it. You just put in your email address, your name, and then what happens when you join the launch party, you get put into a raffle where he's giving away autographed jerseys, copies of the book, all this stuff. And what happens on March 24th when the book drops, you get a link to the Amazon store, and you can get the Kindle version of the book for $1.49. And I think the paperback copy was insanely inexpensive as well. So, and I told you can leave a message for Gary, and Gary reads, it goes right to his phone. So when you literally fill this out, you can sit there and say, hey, Gary, I was just watching it online Big Blue. Sure, I think you're great. I want to ask you a question, and Gary will get it. So you literally are messaging Gary Reasons. GaryReasons.com also is the website. Go do it now. I'll wait. Big L Gigante, I've called you like 3 times. I'm not talking to you, motherfucker. We need pluggers on the defensive line. We've been leaking for years. Someone like Snacks Harrison who took multiple blocks. No comment was the great comment was to Gary Reason's book submission. Oh. I think Gary was talking about the comment he left. Oh, he left for Gary Reasons. Oh, okay. Signed up yesterday. Well, good. Everyone signed up. And Mr. Greg, you're right. Oh, you left a great comment for. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Greg. I thought you always leave great comments here. So now you're just leaving great comments for Gary fucking Reasons because now everyone's like Gary's friend and no one wants to be here. Fuck you guys. I'm better than Gary Reasons. He's got 2 Super Bowl rings, but he didn't bring 1. I'm going to text him later and say, Gary, you didn't bring a Super Bowl ring on the show. Just joking. We wonder why guests don't want to come here. But we have a guest coming. Another guest Sunday, I think, until the start of the season. Because I got to be angry once in a while. Why not? You know what? I've learned this, and I'm going to write a book. But first, we're gonna pitch Gary's book. But I'm going to write a book. How anger and blowing it up on people can give you a full head of hair at 50 plus years old. That's going to be my book. Damn, the commercials are killing me. You want to know what kills you on those commercials? TheMightyFanDuel.com. FanDuel.com, number 1 sportsbook in America. Is fucking YouTube putting commercials on my stream again? Or are you talking my commercials? Because I clicked out of commercials on the fucking streams. I clicked out of it. And I don't know why it's doing it. I gotta call those idiots. Oh, I'm gonna call YouTube. Big James with the hamburgers. We're flipping burgers. We're flipping buns. Greg or Gavin Newsome. Who do you like? Who do you got? I got nobody. James says he couldn't get touched at a strip club with the money falling out of his pocket. Of course, that would be Evan Neal. Thomas Perez says, are there any yes, I did call me. You sent me random text. No, I did call you too, but I called you just on Friday as well. Because I was gonna invite you to a Knick game, but you fucking dogged me, Big L. Just trying to tell you that. Are there any decent second round corners in this draft? Second round corners, yes. But here's the thing again. You are the Giants and you are plowing money into corners. I don't think they're going to go corner in the draft. Only because of the fact that you have picked up a couple corners now and you have a bunch of reclamation projects now. I like the kid Chris Johnson out of San Diego State. 6 feet, 190 pounds. I think he is a guy that could be, he's an outside zone corner. Because I don't know what Denard Wilson's running yet, so I can't give you a true fit. But I always love it because we talked about it with Gary Reasons. Because I always found it strange that we talk about a man's hips. He's got fluid hips and he transitions well when lining up against the wide receivers. Vertical athleticism. I'd like to see him a little bit bigger. His 195 pound frame seems to be he looks a little light to be 195. I don't know what he measured out at. I don't know what he measured out at the combine. I don't even know if he was at the combine. But like I said, and honestly, the Mountain West, it's not what I would refer to as the pinnacle of competition. He dominated the conference, but that's not that's not like you're playing Ohio State. Or it's not like you're playing Penn State. You're playing just above Sister Mary of the Poor, but it's not the best conference in reference to competition. Big L. Big L. I'm going to tell you right now. Hold on. I'm going to send you a screenshot. I'm going to send you the screenshot. Yes, I am. But I got to find out, where is it? Right there. Right there. There it is right there. I'm going to send you the screenshot in a little bit, buddy. Big salute to everyone in the room. RFFD says, wide receiver room next could be legit. Only Neighbors, as everyone else, is one of the 1-year deal who can be cut with with minimum harm. Here's the thing. Like I said, with the wide receiver room, I like Darnell Mooney. I do. We talked about Darnell. We literally talked about Darnell when he got cut. We literally talked about Darnell. We literally talked about him. And I think he's a great signing. He's just he is Darius Slayton without the drops. I think he had like no drops last year and won the year prior. But that's what it is. And like I said, I don't remind. I think if you have a vertical threat offense type, but you also have a corner. You also have a guy in Matt Nagy who doesn't really run a vertical offense. But his Mooney's best seasons, or one best season outside of the almost he hit 1,000 yards, was in Chicago. And we creators still get paid by YouTube for views, so it works for both. I don't get paid by views. I don't give a fuck about the views. I'm gonna give you giant goofball. I'm gonna give you a hint. It's called sponsors. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about super chats and shit like that when you have sponsors. The live commercials play on the live over. I have to fix that. I'll have to figure out a way to fucking fix that, Coach D, because I turned that off. I turned that off a bunch of times, and it says that it's off. And I'm gonna, Coach D, I will fix that tonight. Because fuck that. We're not gonna have that. I don't have that shit. I don't need shit interrupting me. If it played alongside, then I could get it. But if it's taking you out, no, fuck that, YouTube. Fuck that. We got to beef up the front seven. I do believe that. Joe says, I am spoiled with YouTube Pro. I like it. No commercials. I didn't even know there was a YouTube Pro. Did you turn your back on McLovin? I haven't heard you talk about him anymore. I don't know what McLovin's doing. I've texted him a few times. I don't know what he's doing. I think he turned his back on us. I don't know what he's doing. I don't even think he went on a cruise, or he's on a cruise. I can't take track of everybody, guys. It's not my job. Hit that like button. Hit it now. Greg Newsome, I'd rather have Ozzie Newsome. All right. Well, yeah, Ozzie Newsome would be great, but I can't get. Who you got at the top 5 pick, Tim? Oh, see, there's a fucking commercial. Now I put it up. Oh, that's no, we're taking care of that. Well, first of all, just fucking hit skip. Fucking hit skip. That's what you need to do. Hit skip. Don't even fucking look at it. If you see it, do this and hit skip right away. I don't need to get paid from that shit. I'm going to take care of that. Don't worry. I'll take care of that. That's stupid. Okay. Everyone just give me a minute. How to remove commercials on live streams, YouTube. We're not going to have that. To remove commercials on your live stream, you need the most effective method is subscribing to YouTube. No, I don't want that. As a subscriber, as a, what is it called? What am I? As a content creator. Okay. Let's see here. Disable channel setting, advanced settings, check to prevent ads from being displayed to apply. Okay. The creators go to settings. Okay, here we go. All right, everyone just relax a minute. I got to fix this because I'm not going to have that. That's why we have the mighty FanDuel, FanDuel.com, #1 sportsbook in America. You're looking for a best place to go? You go to the mighty FanDuel. And we got a new subscribe. We have a new partner coming up right now as well, and they're going to be launching in April. I'm not okay. So if I go, it says go to settings, go to channel. Okay, go to advanced. Where the fuck is advanced? Oh, there it is. Go to advanced. Okay, now what do I do? Okay, go to advanced. Check disable interested based ads, reduces number of ads shown. Okay, where's that at? Okay, channel insight, allow brands and third-party formats to view channel insight for earning opportunities. Okay. Waiting approval, do not show tag products, product tagging, allow viewers to clip my content, channel visibility. Well, it doesn't say. It doesn't add. Oh, add categories maybe. General categories, sensitive categories. I love how you could block things like alcohol. No, I'm not blocking alcohol. I'm not block. These are the things they tell you can block on YouTube: alcohol, dating, downloadable utilities, gambling. Yeah, gambling. When I'm going to block the mighty FanDuel, social casino games, and weight loss. No, we're not blocking that. Fuck that. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm not supposed to curse as much. I keep forgetting that. Advanced setting, feature eligibilities, intermediate and standard. What grade do you give the guys? Oh, just a minute. Everyone just give me a minute. I'm trying to figure out this ad thing. I don't even know how. I thought I turned something off. All right. I'm going to have to figure this out because we are not going to have this. We are not having this. Channel, general, default values, default uploads, advanced ad categories, permissions. Wouldn't it be under monetization? Is there a monetization tab? Earnings. How about earnings? Earnings. Short ads, broadcast, watch pages. Customization, maybe? Watch ad pages, memberships, watch ad pages. Okay. Short, super gifts, super chats, memberships, super gifts, giving. Oh, turn on live. When is turn on live gifts from live streams? No, I don't want to do that. Customizations. All right. Well, I got to get back to the show. I know. I know, guys. I know this is fun to watch, but a content detection. I love it. These guys that I love it because matching contents. Fireside Giant stole a video. Who stole one of my videos, and it's 70% of my video. I never filed a removal request because I don't really care, but I think that's funny as shit. Content, analytics, community, earn. I think it would be under earn. Wouldn't it be under earn? Getting paid. I already get paid. I get paid by Believe. Copyright match tool, fundraising, support, short ad fees, watched ad pages, see my analytics, ad suitability ratings. Oh, manage ad. All right. Well, you know what? I can't figure it out. I'm not going to figure it out anymore. I'm getting a fucking headache. Coach D, I will figure it out today, and I will have it done today. Love Darnell and likely can play out of the slot. Yeah, I love Darnell Mooney. Likely played 250 snaps in the slot last year. Let's see here. Who the fuck has ever done an emergency stream with Justin Pennox? The goofballs, of course. Why would you even do that? That's just silly. I thought Mooney had 6 drops. Last year, no, he did not have 6 drops. Must be nice, Tim. We aren't all that lucky. Well, you know, it's called talent. I always love it because of the fact that Gary Reasons, I love what Gary Reasons talked about humility yesterday. He's like, you know, it's also about humility. And I said, well, I already failed on that one, Gary. Because I still think I'm the greatest fucker in the world. I get 1 second interruptions. It is an ad playing, but then it skips. Well, I'm not doing that. The ads don't other viewers need viewing free? I don't know. Why are people asking me YouTube questions? I'm still here, says the Funky Town. What's up, Big John? Hey, Tim, what would be the trade back and get more picks and take Woods? I like Woods. Here's the problem with Peter Woods is, are you going to get rid of Dexter Lawrence? Are you gonna move on from him? Peter Woods is 6'3", 310 pounds. He is an athletic guy. I think, you know, if anything, I'm still thinking if I'm the Jets, don't the Jets have 16 too? If I'm the Jets, I'm taking Reese at 2, taking Woods at 16. And I do think this is another good defensive tackle. I do think it's like another good defensive tackle class. I think the biggest risk out of this class, and I think, but he could have potentially the biggest upside, is Caleb Banks out of Florida. And it's funny though, because I know a couple people that have worked with him. And this guy is like 6'6", 330 pounds. You know, but the problem with him is he's got to be healthy and he's got to be motivated. And if you can get him healthy and motivated, he is a guy that is a potential steal in this draft. I saw a super chat from Big Zach. Big Zach, all super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital, says, what is the grade you give this? What is the grade you give this offseason? I'm going to tell you right now, day one, what does this button here do? What does this button do? I don't know what that button does, but I'm not going to touch that button. Show comments on stage. Oh, look, we'll do this. I don't know why. Why would people want to see that? Can't you just fucking read the comments? Oh, here we'll do it big. It looks cool. We'll go wide. It looks cool. Can I still do my banner for today's session, kiddies, is called Learning with Tim on YouTube. I give day one an A. I've already said it. Day one from the New York Football Giants in this draft was a fucking A. And I mean fucking A. A+. They did everything right. They had a purpose. They were concise. They had a plan. I give the rest of it solid B+. Because there's a couple moves that just, you know, and again, like I said, I don't know the contract values yet. I don't like that. I don't like that on screen. No, I don't like that. I take that off. I don't like that. They you know, they did some things that you kind of, like the Newsome thing. Newsome in his coverage, I've watched him the last 2 years. I remember him in Jacksonville. It's just been fucking god awful. But they've done things, and like I said, if you get him, if it's not really the amount of money, the $8 million, and it is the $3 million, then it's a good move if you can resurrect his career. But I'm giving it a solid B+ for the rest of the draft. I got YouTube TV, 25 minutes of commercials, and 1 hour show. What the fuck, unwatchable. Don't forget, thumbs up and subscribe. Tim is the best. I know, but thank you. I know. You know what we got to talk about, though? Thank you, Zach, and thank you, Jeff, for Super Chat. Let's go to the Philadelphia Children's Hub. No, we got to talk about the mighty FanDuel. It's FanDuel.com, the #1 sports book in America. Said it right now. New customers get $300. I'm going to say this slow because I love it. New customers get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Okay? Think about that for a second, what I literally just said to you. Get up to $300 back in bonus bets for 10 days if your bets don't win. That's for new customers. One more time. Get up to $300 back in bonus bets for 10 days if your bets don't win. What are you waiting for? I've already said it. Go right now. I'm going to go to the App Store right now. And I already have it on my phone. I'm going to show you how easy this is. I'm going to go to the App Store. There's the App Store. And I'm going to go search for apps, and I type in FanDuel. What comes up immediately? FanDuel.com. You know, I have the FanDuel.com right there. Casino games. Here you go. You can see. You can see it. I got the mighty FanDuel right there. It's already there. You download the app. I've already told you it's one of the easiest apps to use. It's one of the most simplest things to ever do. If you want casino games, you want fantasy, you want racing, you want to do some research. You want to go watch FanDuel TV. FanDuel TV is fun to watch. We've already said it before. I am one parlay away from winning $108,000. And that's if the Boston Celtics win the NBA championship. I've already got 3 legs of the parlay off. I love the casino games because I am old. I've said this before. I like watching the wheel spin. The Huff and Puff Money Mansion. I love the all Gronk, all gold game. Everything you need to do. Everything. And if you're a new customer again on FanDuel, join FanDuel Casino today. Get 500 bonus spins to play Huff and Puff Money Mansion. Plus, you get up to $1,000 back in casino bonuses on your first day net loss. Dear Lord, they want you to try this app and show you how easy it is to be part of FanDuel. Not only casino games, not only sports books. Here's a good parlay. College basketball, the NCAA tournament. We have the Final Four of Duke, Arizona, Michigan, and Florida. Bet that right now. 3,504 people have already placed that bet. $10 wager will get you $106. $10 wager, $106. That's like, I don't know what percentage that is of your money back, but that's freaking phenomenal. I would actually play that. I'm going to play that right now. Place a bet. I'm going to bet $100 though, because I do think that's a good Final Four. So my $100 bet will pay me $1,060. And again, that parlay is for the Final Four teams. It's Duke's, Arizona, Michigan, and Florida. FanDuel.com, the #1 sports book in America. Don't forget to game responsibly. But you do love me, FanDuel. I love FanDuel. I don't have premium, and I haven't had it yet. Yeah, I don't recall ads on here, but on other YouTube sites, I get ads. We're gonna take care of the ads. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna take care of the ads. I'm gonna take care of the ads. You guys do not need to see ads because then you miss this. Okay, if you watch ads, you don't see this. That's what we're here for. A lot of content creators going nuts with it. Well, Slider. Because like I said, I've said it before. I never did this for money. Don't need money. Don't need fame. Don't need no credit card to ride this train. All super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. And we have to thank the mighty Believe. Believe has been great. Big shout out to Believe. We're over 1 million downloads since June on the podcast. And that's just been phenomenal. I mean, the podcast has taken on a life of its own, and I really do appreciate the people, because I do think some of the people that watch this channel are watching the podcast as well. So, but that's been fantastic. Neil is a no-lose situation. Tim and Tiki, Banks and Tiki talked about it. He's played pretty well against the Jets D-line. Like last night, guard only helped us if he can fix it. It's you're paying the guy $1 million. Watch as I'm gonna be professional. Was I not professional with Gary Reasons? Was I not professional? I was tired as fuck, because we had gone to the Big East tournament, the championship game, the night before, and it was very late, and I had drank a lot, and I couldn't. And I love it because somebody was DMing me, someone was texting me during the stream, and they're like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Because you're just getting shit wrong, like stories that you've told us, you've gotten the names wrong. You just seem to be out of it." I'm like, "Dude, I think I'm first of all, I was like, I think I'm still drunk." So that could have been a problem too, but I was trying to be professional. Because Gary has 2 Emmys, 2 Super Bowl rings and 2 Emmys. How awesome is that? But you're right. $1 million. Oh, wait, I forgot. Because we got him for
$1 million.
You get him to be serviceable, and you get him to be better than that. You rely on your coaching staff with Evan Neal, and you fill a starting guard spot for $1 million. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if you fill that starting guard spot for $1 million, you're suavemente. And he's no longer then a bust. Big Joe says, like, we still haven't wasted enough time with Gray, Jalen Hyatt, and Evan Neal types. Eric Gray, the Gray Ghost, is gone. Jalen Hyatt needs to be gone. Jalen Hyatt, I still think it's Nuke LaLoosh, $1 million arm, 2-cent head. I think that's Jalen Hyatt in a nutshell. So maybe they're going to give him a chance. He's on the last year of his deal. Why not? You cut him later. Why not? Where did you find Mooney had 1 drop? His career high of drops is 6 last season. I said, I don't remember, Emrod. Do I go to your job and criticize you? I have, hold on a minute. Darnell, hold on. I have, you know what I hate? I love the Apple drop ratio. Hold on. Let's see his drop ratio. Here's drop ratio in 20 is 1 drop and 98 targets for 1%. In 2021, 9 drops and 140 targets for 6.4. 22 was 2 drops at 3.3. 23, I'm sorry, that was 22. 23 was 4.9 drops at 3%, at 3 drops. 24, he recorded a 4.2, 1 drop on 24 targets, and one report. Another report has him at 5.67. So that's, and I got that from the NFL. So yeah. James Stein says, yeah, YouTube keeps popping up ads on your streams. It's annoying. Okay, well, we're gonna take care of it, guys. We're gonna take care of it. I will make this proclamation to you. We will take care of the ads today. Today it will be taken care of. I'm sick of all these overhyped players. Who are we overhyped at? I guess you were a professional, Tim, but Gary Reason talked 90% of the time. I love it because I think it was you, Joe, that said that Gary Reason's out-talked the talker. I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was funny as shit. I was like, yeah, Gary Reason's out-talked the talker. But it was great to listen to his stories. I mean, like I said, I geeked out a little bit because of the fact that, like I said, I know professional. I know a lot of professional athletes. I've hung out with professional athletes. I've done things with professional athletes, and I've never been one of these. And a lot of them like hanging out with me because I'm not a fan type. I'm not a guy that's like, oh, I'm hanging out with X. You know, I've told the story, but I never told the story how I ended up at Scores with John Starks, Charles Oakley, and Patrick Ewing. But it's always been one of those things. I treat them like a person because that's what they are. But I have to admit, I was a little geeked out by Gary Reasons, because Gary Reasons, when I was in high school and he was playing, and he talked about how one of the things that he loved was when he used to talk to kids. And, they're like, well, I'm always 55. I'm always Gary Reasons when we play in the backyard. I was 55 when we played in the backyard. And that's why I kind of geeked out a little bit like that, because I knew I was never going to be a Lawrence Taylor. I never knew I was going to be a Carl Banks. And I knew I was never going to be a Harry Carson, but I always felt I could be a Gary Reasons type player, because he went to a small school. He did the little things, and I always try to pattern myself after that type of player. So I was a little geeked out by it. I got to admit, I was a little nervous, and I'm never nervous around anybody. I was a little nervous around Gary Reasons because this is a guy that I try to emulate when I was, in my early teens, when I was in high school. I wanted to be Gary. I had to wear 20 because I couldn't wear 55. Same thing in college. I couldn't wear 55, and I kept wearing 20 because I couldn't wear 55. So I told the story that when I emailed him, we talked on X, and I emailed him, and then I'm talking to James Williams on the phone, and then I see this number coming up, and I see it's in Texas, and I said, it's Big Don. So I was going to say something stupid, probably racist. I don't know, because that's what we do here. I'm joking. Big Don is black, of course. So he I answered the phone, and I was like, okay, something tells me to be professional. I'm like, hey, this is, I said, hey, this is, and I said, hey, this is Tim. And he goes, hey, Tim, this is Gary Reasons. And I've heard that voice in interviews before. So I immediately flashed back to my childhood. Even my wife was like, you were a little taken back in the beginning, but then she's like, you went back into being you. You were a little taken back by Gary Reasons. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was. That's why I'm stoked to read his book. Big Slider says, giant fans, content creators are losing their shit over Evan Neal coming back. Who are they expecting? Calm the fuck down. You're right. Carlos, the hair's looking good. I'm not going to say anything, but I actually got a haircut for Gary Reasons. There's not a list of there are not a list of impressive guards, but there are some guys in free agency. Tim, the hair is looking good this morning. Thank you, Carlos. Joe says, hey, I always wanted to go buy a 1995 Hyundai. It works out great. Roberto says, I'm a fanatic like everyone else, but some of you are not realistic at all, man. The goal is 500 next season, small steps. I think they've done a fantastic job. Well, Roberto, we've talked about that suavemente. We have talked about this. I was going to Mike. We talked about this on this channel. I don't think anyone that really follows this channel is delusional. I've said this before. I said this was a 5-7 win team because of the fact that you have put players on the roster that fit. We've talked about this a million times here. Joe Shane has put together over the last 4 years a cut and paste roster. It's cut and paste. It's guys that he's trying to cut and paste into slots that don't fit. We've signed players that, if you take a look at their skill set, all kind of have the same skill set, all kind of do the same thing, all fit within a system. And we are going to have players that fit in the system that we are potentially going to run, and we're not going to try to make the system fit to the players. And I think if you take a look at it from that perspective, 5-7 wins is a good season. And I've said it before. I think with John Harbaugh, you're automatically going to get 2 additional wins. So if you're a 4-win team last year, you're a 6-win team. You could probably get a 7th win. The scheduling gods, because of the rotational divisions, is still not doing us any favors. But we can't look at the schedule. I always love how content creators can look at the schedules now without knowing the dates, without knowing. There's a fucking commercial. No. We're not doing that. No. That will be fixed today, guys. We are not having that. Hit the like button, because if you don't hit the like button, I don't know. Just hit the like. Get us up to 70 likes. But I think we're pretty suave. Rico Suave. No, it's Rico Velour. Some of y'all want $1 billion spent on a subpar year. Well, according to NFL rules, you need to spend 97% of your cap space. So you have to spend the money, or it's against the collective bargaining agreement. Joe says, I don't think Tim knows about YouTube's ad issues. Please be sure to remind. I don't, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know. Like I said, I don't sit here and try to pretend to tell you I know what the fuck's going on with YouTube. But when I see something I don't like, I will fix it. I literally will. I have to I have a call at 8:30 tonight for another YouTube channel, and I will work on that before that. I wasn't strong. I wasn't fast. I wasn't very good. Reasons taught me to always be prepared. Ooh, Coach T, that's a good one. And hits. That is when he talked about tackling, and he talked about how, and I loved it because we've talked about this on the show, and this is why I was geeking out a little bit. But when he's talked about how they're teaching tackling now, and Slider brought up the comment about the shoulder tackle, but I don't think Gary completely understood what you were talking about, Slider, with, because I don't think he understood what you meant. Is people are just throwing their shoulder, trying to knock someone out of bounds. But when he talked about leading with the helmet instead of leading with the shoulder and leading with the crown, I was like, oh my God, we talk about this all the time here. Haircut, still looking good, bro. You're a regular Mavic Top Gun, baby. You know it, baby. I didn't have any hairspray today, so I'm a little down there. I didn't have any hairspray today. So you were Joe Morris. Tim, I bet you $1 million, Don, told Joe, what the fuck are you doing fitting square pegs in round holes? Like I said, I'm very happy with the free agency. I have no qualms and complaints about any of the picks, even the Greg Newsome signing. Because I don't know yet what the contract. I don't know. Do we actually have a full? Do we actually have a full contract? I mean, update on what his contract is. Do we have that? Because it just keeps saying 1 year, 10 million. So much. And this is the thing why and just people in general go on to like Sports Tracks and all these other sites, it doesn't give you the full contract until the contract goes into the league office. It doesn't give you it doesn't give you the cap number. It doesn't give you the cap hit. It just tells you what they're telling you. So I've seen anywhere that it could be 3 million guaranteed and the rest is incentives. I've seen a lot of things. See, because it says right here from the New York Giants, 1 year contract worth up to 8 million. So if it's 3 million with a three, oh yeah, right here. Here we go. See right here from the Giants. 1 year contract, 8 million, worth 8 million with 3 million guaranteed. So it's not a contract, and that's from Connor Hughes, though. Why not just get Woolen? I mean, I don't know. Well, because Woolen got 10 million. I think he got 10 million guaranteed for the 1 year, and we're only guaranteeing this guy 3. So okay, I'm good with that. I got a Star Wars ad. We're gonna take care of the ads. You guys don't have a YouTube without ads. It will change your life. I think that's cool that you guys can get YouTube without ads. I think that's pretty cool. I don't really put ads like in the videos. Like when I do a video, I don't put ads in. I might throw one in because I forget. Because there's this button that says you got to click something about YouTube will put the ads in for you, and I always unclick that. But sometimes if you don't go back, because I admit it, I'm lazy. I don't go back and look. Then they sneak in an ad. But they always put an ads in the beginning and at the end. There's nothing I can do about that. That's just YouTube. But if you can do it without ads, I would do that. I would. Why not? What's up, Evan? Hey, go do it. I don't care. I'm not looking to get paid. I'm not looking to take your guys' money. Fuck it. Right, 2 tiers in a bucket. Let's see. Free agent pretty much done. Mainly skill position guy signs. We draft heavy on both sides of the line. Other than 5 seems to be Sonny Styles, even though I'm not the biggest fan. I like Sonny Styles, sideline to sideline guy. I've already said it. I'm not upset if you take Sonny Styles. I'm not upset. You take Caleb Downs, I'm upset. I might be upset. You trade out to take Caleb, then I'm fine. You take Reese, I'm good. After talking to Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports, I'm off the Fano train because he was telling me that he spoke to people in the league that are saying that Fano is projected to potentially be moved to the inside at guard or center. So I went back and I did a little bit more research, and so I'm off the Fano train now. I'm on the Bono train, but that's just something to look at as well. Joe says you do a lot worse than $20 a month than YouTube Pro. So it's YouTube Pro. All right. Well, everyone go sign up for YouTube Pro. Fuck all the content creators. Don't give them your money. Don't give them your money. Don't give them your time. Sign up for YouTube Pro. Hairspray is a life change. Oh yeah, I use this. I don't go to a barber. I go to a salon. And I drive about an hour to get my hair done because there's this person in the salon that knows how to do my hair perfectly. The problem is, even at my advanced age, my hair grows like a fucking weed. So I have to go see this guy. You know, when I wear a hat, I tell people when I'm wearing a hat, it's because if I take off my hat, my hair's going to go doosh, like that. So that's why I wear a hat on the streams. Joe says free agency raised our floor a lot. No splash signing either, which I like. I think the likely signing is a splash signing because he's still, and like I said, he was stuck behind Mark Andrews for a couple of years. He is a guy that I think can facilitate. I think, like I said, I think he's a guy that's going to be a big focal point of this offense. Hit that like button, guys, because if you don't, I don't know what's going to happen, but hit that like button. 61. We should be up to 70, but that's all right. We got 157 people still watching. But I to your point, Joe, I don't think they went crazy. Spider Burns says, OG comment here. LT is the greatest defensive player ever. Who is your number 2? All right. Greatest defensive player for the Giants outside of LT? Or greatest defensive player in the league? Because those are both two like really hard questions. If I'm going Giants. Let's see, I'm also old. So that's a tough question. If I'm going Giants, if I'm going second greatest, I'm going to say there to me, and it's a split. I'm going to go because I go linebacker. So I would go Sam Huff, Harry Carson. If I am going all time, see, because there's guys that you guys haven't seen play that, and there's a lot of older guys that don't get their props. If I'm going non-modern era, that would be back in the 60s and the 70s. You got to go with the likes of, I got to go with like Deacon Jones and Bob Lilly. And for a short period of time, for like 6 out of the 9 years plays, I got to go with Dick Butkus as well. If I'm going more towards the modern era, the best defensive players that I have seen outside of Lawrence Taylor is going to be Reggie White and Deion Sanders. Because Reggie White was even you go back to the Memphis Showboats, was a destroyer. And Deion Sanders, we have never seen the likes at corner at that point in time when prime time came out of Florida State and kind of revolutionized the entire it really did revolutionize the entire way a corner played. So I'm going to go 1A, 1B. I'm going to go Reggie White, Deion Sanders. If I'm going modern era, if I'm going postmodern era, I'm going to probably have a tie with Deacon Jones, who coined the term sack, where he said he just wants to take a quarterback, put him in a sack and hit him with a bat. And the likes of Bob Lilly, and people are like, Bob Lilly, I don't know who the hell that is. Newsome only 3-mirror guaranteed. Yes, he's only 3-mirror guaranteed. I just checked that. Let's see here. Crazy. Let's see. It's crazy. Trade Brian Burns. He's probably going to regress, and his sacks will mop up duty. You got to remember, he's going to be due now because of what we did with the money. He's going to be due $44 million. He's going to be a $44 million cap number for the next 2 seasons after this year, Brian Burns, in 27-28. I got an AI date ad. Oh my God. We don't a running back, and we need wide receiver or line. We don't need, I'm assuming you're saying we don't need a running back, wide receiver, or linebacker. We do need a linebacker, and we do need a running back. Tim is fancy. I am fancy. I admit it. I am fancy. I'm not gonna lie to you. The Giants free agents seem to transition years into Harbaugh regime. They really did, Zach. I mean, they really are transitioning. It's going to be an easy transition. This is a great point. This is a transition year for the Harbaugh regime. Wow, I like how you put that, Zach. This is a transition year. This truly is, because of the fact that we're trying to figure out and find the talent, and we're trying to put it together in a system. And this was a great start. We don't need a running back. We need a linebacker or wide receiver. Now, wide receiver, I don't think we need. And I do think we need a running back. You have a guy come. Now I got an ad for floor decor. Cutting that out. Not having that. We are not having that. I'm sorry, guys. We are not fucking having that. Oh, I don't know how to turn this off. I'm going to have to go back and look. All right. I'm not going to do this now. I'm wasting too much time on the show trying to figure out how to do this, because I don't know how to freaking do it. How do you turn these things off? There's got to be a way to turn these ads off. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Dawn has knee problems. Downs has knee problems. Well, no. This is what, and we talked to Ryan Roberts, who again talks to people in NFL circles, and we had him on the show. They say, and I don't understand the degenerative ACL. They say, and only one team found the degenerative ACL. And I love it because someone who has had 2 ACL injuries and 1 major ACL surgery, well, all ACL surgery, but I had, I had my ACL, my second surgery, my ACL was replaced with my patella tendon, and I tore my meniscus, my mid-meniscus at the same time. I don't understand how you can diagnose a degenerative ACL without an MRI. I have no clue how it's not going to show up on an X-ray. I don't know how you diagnose that. So, and it's just interesting that one team is the only one that found Reggie White. So based on your narrative here, the Giants suck next year, so why waste time watching? Got it. What the Patrick, are you a fucking moron? You are a fucking moron, right, Patrick? Everyone say to Patrick, hello, fucking moron. Nobody said that. A 7-win team when you won 7 games in 2 years is not an improvement. What kind of fan are you? I am tired of dealing with fucking idiots. And Patrick,
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
You want to be a fucking moron? Go to Chode Sports. Go to these other stupid shows that is rah. Yeah. We do this for the fans. Now give me a super chat and some money. Fuck you, Patrick. Fuck you and the horse you fucking rode in on, because you're stupid and you don't even deserve to be on this channel. I wish I could go back in time and stop myself from reading your stupid comment, because it's the idiocy of fans like you who think every season is going to be a 17-win season or a 16-win season or hell, even a 14-win season when we had it. I got you guys. Even the neuralizer did not work with Patrick's fucking stupidity. He is the fan that sits there and says, it's a preseason, we're going to win, we're going to have 14-3, we're going to win the division. And then when they lose, he's the first one to bash the team. Wait, we have a clip of Patrick.
You can do it! Oh, no! We suck again!
Patrick, you know what? I only put you in timeout for 7 minutes. I want you to come back on because I want to talk to you because I want to prove to you and to everyone else how fucking stupid you are. I want to show you this with your stupid ass face and smile on your thing. I want you to come on the show and talk to me because I want to prove that you are a fucking moron. Looking in the mirror usually does that for yourself, but I want to prove that to you. Strahan for the Giants. Yeah, I mean, Strahan is up there, but like I said, if I'm going number 2 all-time greatest Giants, I got to go Carson because Carson and Huff redefined the linebacker position in both different generations. My number 2 greatest defensive player behind LT is Reggie White. Derek Thomas is a good choice. Derek Thomas also passed away unexpectedly on that road in Kansas City. So we never fully, he was towards the end of his career, but there was probably more to come. So never saw him play live, but Sam Huff, Deacon Jones was the man. Strahan, okay. Omega Supreme says, did anyone see the Wink Martindale interview? Wink said he retired from college. Wink said he college retired football, but came back to the pros, especially back to the Giants. Tim, can you see him, a team considering him? I would love to have Wink back. Where was Omega? Where was the interview? Because I'd like to where's the interview? Because I'd love to see the interview because I think Wink is a guy that deserves another shot in the NFL. I think Wink, a guy, if he wants to come back to the Giants, I don't think he would because Joe Shane is still here, but I think he could come back to the Giants. I would do it. I would have him come back. Big David says, Mean Joe Green was great too. Yep. Yeah. Excuse me, guys. My allergies are killing me. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Let's at least get to set. We're at 64. Let's at least get to 75 likes before we leave. Reggie White, straight out power dude, like brute strength. Gotta love him. Joe says, the things that excite me most now is the Giants have a plan, not a GM trying to save his job by throwing shit against the wall. Thanks, Joe. Okay, Joe just alleviated whatever his fucking name was. I already forgot his name. Joe, all right, Joe, you just made up for the moron, Joe. Good job. I appreciate it, Joe. Reggie White, ragdoll offensive line out of his way with the arm club. Yeah, Reggie White was something else. LT, Dion, Reggie, and Ray Lewis, I'm assuming. Hey, Skyline, what's up? Tyrell Buckley doesn't get the respect deserved as well, Tim. Tyrell Buckley. We're talking the corner, Tyrell Buckley. Are we talking the corner or the football coach? Which one are we talking? Or is that is Tyrell Buckley? Is that the same guy out of Florida State, also known as T-Buck? Because Tyrone Buckley, who played for the Giants actually for 4 games back in the early. He played with the Giants just before the Super Bowl era. So I think he was 2004 or 5. Tyrell Buckley was. I do like Brian Burns a lot. He's lived up to his billing. Brian Burns has done what he's supposed to do. I only get ads from DraftKings and FanDuel. You mean the mightyfanduel.com, number 1 sportsbook in America. If you want to have the best in online casino, gambling, and sportsbook, where do you go? We go to the mightyfanduel.com. On the Believe Network. Come on, guys. Get 7 more fucking likes. True Blue, what's up? Reading the moves we made this free agency. I wouldn't be surprised if we do True Blue, honestly, like I said, Patrick's the guy's name. True Blue, I've said this before. I wouldn't mind. I would not love actually. Again, this is something that's shocking for the Giants. Love fits with what we do. Love fits the system. Love saves the day. You're relying on a guy coming back off a foot injury. You're relying on a guy that's going to be in his third or fourth year, and Tyrone Tracy, who really hasn't turned the corner as much as we thought he was going to. And Love really kind of fills everything out. Yeah, it kind of just it does make sense. Coach D says you gotta get a millennial to do your tech issues. I use my 10-year-old granddaughter. Well, I got teenagers. I got teenagers. But Coach D, I'm a professional. I'm a professional, Coach D. Say, look, FanDuel, believe I'm a professional. Can't have a kid doing it. Besides, it won't help me. I do have to get someone. I'll figure. Coach D, I promise you this, because Coach D is the one that brought it up, and I'm promising everyone else. But I will promise you this: I will figure a way to turn off these fucking ads. Maybe I have to do something on StreamYard. Keyshawn the Bruce says, hopefully this is the true rebuild, and Giants have been doing it since McAdoo. Yeah, I hope you're right. Hell yes, 7 wins would be great. 7 wins is awesome. Anything over 7 wins is fucking phenomenal. Anything over 7 wins, you're having a great season. You get 7 wins, you're having a great season. You're still playing in a division with the Cowboys and the Eagles. You're also still playing, like I said, the scheduling gods did not give you any favors with this rotational divisional shit. 7 wins, man. I'm down for it. Joe says Mr. Perry is just having a good time. I'm assuming that's me yelling at Patrick. Mr. Jeremiah Love, all you best player available will be on it. You're right. You know what? That's why I love you. That's why I love you, Coach. That's why I love you, Joe. You're right. They'll be all over it. Pat Leonard, Pay Leonard, also, well, joking. Pat Leonard, YouTube channel. God bless you. Well, I'm glad you all brought up Pat Leonard on my show. We don't like Pat Leonard because he's never come on here. He won't grace us with his presence. So, yeah, everyone loved the mighty Pat. We may not have ever invited him. We never invited him, but he should just come on the show. I don't know how to get guests. I loved it last year. We had a bunch of guests on. There were people that I know. And I was talking to Don last night. And he's like, or somebody I was texting last night. They're like, how do you get, and I was like, well, I know them. So, there were people I know. So that's how I get guests. It was an interview. Tim, what is your favorite franchise? I don't eat franchise pizza places. No. I like the mom and pop shops. I don't eat franchise. It was funny that my wife, when we first met, was like, let's go to Outback. Let's go to this place. And I'm like, I don't do franchise. I don't. Because if I'm going to go out and spend money on food, I want to go someplace where it's going to the people that are making the food and doing the thing, and usually get better food that way. I think it was Pat Leonard. Thanks, guys. Let's just all bring up Pat Leonard. It was Pat Leonard. Pat Leonard, the dick that won't come on the show, even though we never invited him. I would reach out to Pat Leonard. Why not? I don't know. Let me go on Twitter. Do I even follow Pat Leonard? Pat Leonard. Is it just under Pat Leonard? Pat. Well, it's not coming up. Why is it not coming up? Why is his name? Oh, right here. Pat Leonard. No, I'm not following Pat Leonard. I am not following him. Okay. So what we need to do then, we need to follow Pat Leonard. Hold on. We're following Pat Leonard. Where do I do? Follow. Okay, up here. There it is. Follow. Oh, talking ball with Pat Leonard. Okay. All right. There we go. There we go. We are now following Pat Leonard. Okay. Now, does that mean I could communicate with him, or does he have to follow me? I think he's got to follow me back. Okay. Let's see. Pat Leonard. No, I have to. Okay, he's got to follow me back. Okay. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. Buckley couldn't make the plays. Tyrell Buckley. Yes, the corner out of Florida State. He played with Deion Sanders in college. Right, he did. Emrod said, it seems like most of our starting line is coming back. Well, we don't know that yet. We don't know if Runyon's still going to be here, and we don't know if Greg Van Roten is coming back. So we're not sure yet. We need linebackers, defensive tackles, and defensive ends. Yeah. Yeah. If you want to sum it up that way, yeah, that's actually what we need. Completely agree with you, Tim. Love fits perfectly. He really does. Love really does fit the system perfectly. He is a 3-down back. He is a bell cow back. He is a guy that can give you that home run threat. Cam Scadaboo's not going to give you the home run threat. Tyrone Tracy at times can give you the home run threat. Delvin Singletary is no longer a home run threat guy. He can be that guy in the backfield that you can also, and I love it because you can line him up in the slot. You can line him up in so many different places. And he's a guy that can literally fit the system. And I think that's what the Giants need. I mean, but like I said, if they don't go that way, I'm not gonna go crazy. I was laughing because where did I just see? What did I saw about Pizza Place? Hold on, let me scroll down for Pizza Place. I live in New York. I eat at Vinny's, Jimmy's, Sal's, Tony's. Forget about. Oh, are you? I don't know. Are you being facetious? Because there's a Vinny's. I don't know if it's still there. There's a Vinny's Pizzeria in Flushing that I used to go to after. I haven't gone to Mets games in a while, but I used to go there after Mets games. I don't know, which actually had really good pizza. And then there's a Vinny's Pizzeria on 32nd, which is actually pretty good too. So I'm not wasn't sure if you were being facetious about that and just throwing out Italian names. He is the one that interviewed Wink. Cowboys are the one easier games on their schedule. We don't know yet. I can't tell you if this is going to be easy. Fields traded to the Chiefs. Okay. Tim sent you the interview with Wink. Thank you, Mike Lee. Did you send it to which email did you send it to? Harbaugh never picked a running back near this high. Who knows how shown feel? Well, it doesn't matter if you've never done something before. Just because you've never done it before doesn't mean you're not going to do it now. Because to people's point, if you're all of a sudden looking now at best player available, is Love not the best player available? Probably at 5. He could be. I love Pat Leonard. All the delusionals hate his gut. Oh, they do? They don't like Pat Leonard? Well, then I love Pat Leonard. Me and Pat Leonard are buds. I hesitated to tell you because it was Pat Leonard. I like Pat Leonard because he doesn't like people. The people who hate Pat Leonard are the ones that buy all the teams, are the ones that buy. Oh, okay. Then I like Pat Leonard. Mom, Miss Perry, you said it best. Mom or pops are at home. Yes. Do you do pizza and the green egg? Seems like a lot. No, hell no. You have to get the, first you have to get the indirect cooker. And then you have to get the pizza stone. And then you turn the indirect cooker up the other way, not the other way where you put the basin in for the water when you want to steam stuff. You turn it the other way, and then you put the pizza stone on there, and it's great. Yeah, we do it all the time. Oh yeah, it's gonna be another Bob Papa. Don't you love it when I call you Bob Papa? Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna get closer with Gary Reasons. Gary Reasons has Bob Papa's phone number. They're friends. So I'm gonna work that angle a little bit. We're gonna get Bob on here. You figured the Believe connection would have worked. Reminds me of Colonel Green for Star Trek TOS episode Salvage Curtain. I have no idea what you're talking about. don't watch. I watch the old Star Trek. I don't really know the other Star Treks. Maybe Howard Cross. Oh, the top 100 giant coming in. Well, Howard Cross is not the top 100 giant. He's not in the top 100. But we have on Sunday another top 100 giant. Gary Reasons was 72 or 74. We have another. We're still at 66. What? You motherfuckers don't hit the like button one more time? Forgot. Stop cursing at the audience. There's so many rules. Don't curse at people. Don't curse at the audience. Don't say things. What the fuck? Let's see here. Who's texting me? Hold on, let me text this person out. Okay. Do that later. All right. Where are we at here? No, but I'm not going to tell you. I have to confirm it on Wednesday. I think Pat Leonard looks a lot like Shady Plumber on the daytime soap operas. That's pretty funny though. Keyshawn says if the Giants strengthen the decent one to the draft and play it well, you will help a weak secondary because of the guys up front getting to the quarterback. I agree. Pat Leonard gave Joe Shane the business. Oh, Pat Leonard. Oh no, I do like Pat Leonard. He asked Joe Shane the question. Joe Shane was like, well, you know, Pat, I understand the question. Ben to the 1 on 32nd. The one, yes. The one I Gmailed usually do. Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Let's see here. Nobody on the beat has the balls to ask that in person. Here's what I forget. Here's what I forget. I literally forgot what I was about to say. I forget to use my burner account to hit the like button. Be right back. Oh shit, that was fucking funny. What happened to the goofball? I think you offended them. What did I say that it offended them? What did I say? What did I say now? What did I say? I don't know if I have to go back and look. What did I say? I don't think I said anything bad. Did I say anything? I don't remember saying anything. Don't you love it when I call you Bob Pop? I'm going to get Bob Pop on. Hell or high water, I'm going to get Bob Pop on. I don't know how. I'm trying to go back to see what I said. Does anyone remember what I said? Wow, seriously. Oh, okay. Maybe I did. Maybe I did say something. Patrick is home now contemplating. What did I say? You're in the wrong spot. I don't remember what I said. No, I think he was talking. I don't think I offended him. I think he was talking about the YouTube thing. I'm in the wrong spot, he says. You're in the wrong spot. Wow. Then he says, wow, seriously. I don't know. I don't think I offended anybody. I don't think I said anything. I don't remember saying anything. You know, when I got to go back and look to see if I offended someone, which I really don't care. That's a lot of effort. I have a headache now. Okay, let's see here. I love Pat Leonard. We already talked about love for Pat Leonard. We already talked about mom and pops. Let's see here. Let's go down here a little bit. I think Pat Leonard looks like shady. That still cracks me up. No one on the beat has the balls. What happened to the goofballs? I think you offended them. I don't remember saying anything that was offensive. I forgot to use my burner account. We already got to that. Petro, Tim said, how you doing? Good, sir. I'm doing well. Hit the like button for Tim. Yes, so I can stop cursing at people. I'm told I got to stop cursing. We're one like away from 70. Make sure you get that 70 like. Petro says you see all the posts by people that are insiders that are saying we are taking Love at 5. For the love of God, please no. I thought it was I forget whose post it was on Twitter, on X. I can't remember. It's a she. There's not many she people that do content stuff, but it was a funny post, and she basically said that, just so you know, I've got this inside information about the Giants that they're going to do this, or they could do this, or they could potentially do this. And if they don't do this, then they're going to do this. So when it happens, I get all the credit. And then she wrote ... Is that vague enough for you? I thought that was fucking hilarious to this day, because that really does wrap up the insider information. The insider information is the Joe Shane theory of general managing. To someone said it best, just take some shit, throw in the wall, and see what sticks. Let's see here. Well, Tim Patrick is now home contemplating. He's now contemplating life. Joe Ferry says, now Drew is at work at his tire shop. He doesn't get offended. I don't think I said anything offensive. Our middle linebacker will still need Styles to round. Well, actually, our outside linebacker room needs Sonny Styles. I know Sonny Styles is more listed as an inside linebacker, but I'm telling you, people, this is a guy that played safety for 2 years in college before he shifted over to linebacker, and you're not going to use him as Isaiah Simmons. I think he's a hybrid in regards to the fact that I think you can play him on the inside and the outside linebacker position. Tim says, we're going to go say to need to be to keep the job, their access to orders, do their job. Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay. About talent. When I made the comment about I have talent. First of all, that was me being sarcastic. Not really. And if you don't think you're talented, then why would you even do anything? So I don't think so. I don't think anyone's offended. Let's see here. You think Styles is more of a sure thing than Love? Sure thing is in regards to as a player, or sure thing as in regards to the Giants picking them? That's a question. I'll wait for your answer, Joe. Let's see here. Tim tore Patrick a new one. Now he's at home with buyer's remorse. Listen, if you're going to come on and listen, I don't mind when people come on and challenge. I don't mind when people come on and say something stupid. I don't mind that. That doesn't bother me. But when you literally come on and you insult a segment of the fan base because you don't agree with them, I'm not gonna. Now I got a commercial for a Mercedes dealer. I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna pick up the kids today, and I'm gonna work on this in the car. Because there's got to be a way to fucking turn this off. There's got to be a way. I just don't see it. I'm just not seeing it. All right, we're wasting time talking about that because I only got a few more minutes. We're wasting time. Let's see here. What's up, BP? What's up, brother? Winston says, I feel like everyone's going to cry when they draft an offensive lineman at 5. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry at all. Because if you take an offensive lineman at 5, that is a need. And, it's funny. I wouldn't do it at 5, but after talking to Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports when we had him on, the thought process of moving Fano to the guard position is a reality, but I'm not taking a guard at 5. But it's a good reality. I mean, it's a good option if you want to trade down and do that. But I'm not going to cry about it because I actually do think that's a good option. I troll goofballs for 6 hours a week. He doesn't get offended. Trust me. I don't. You want to be honest, Joe? I really don't care. My line of work, I really don't care if anyone gets offended. Because I always love it when giant content creators are like, we have to have this simpatico relationship. We all have to love each other. We all have to be one and in unison. I remember they were talking about that shit for a couple of years ago, and I was like, fuck that. I don't want to deal with you fucking morons. You know I'm smarter than all of you put together. God, I wish I had some confidence. Omega Supreme says our wide receiver completely with the sign of Mooney, and that puts Tate out of the running. If Styles is gone, Tate and Love are available. If Styles is gone, I'm not going to take Love just because I don't want to lose a bet. If Styles is gone at 5, I'm taking Love. I'm taking Love. I was joking. I'm taking Love. So I'm not taking Caleb Downs, and I'm not taking Tate. I'm taking Love. I'll take Love at 5. Add 5. What's up? 5 is, yeah, Zach, you're right. 5 is an odd place. 3 was an odd place to be last year. 5 is even kind of a stranger place to be this year. But thank God the Giants did the right things in free agency. Oh, good, nice Nick win yesterday, though. I'm not going to cry. I trust Harbaugh. I said it before. If you can master the soundboard, you might be able to fix the ad thing. AJ Marsh, let me tell you something about the soundboard. I have the soundboard, which is the instant replay system, hard drive, 360 system. And then I have the Rodecaster board for the mic and everything else. When I initially got the soundboard, this was a couple of years back, I initially got the soundboard. It sat in the box for about 4 months. Literally had it. Never took it out of the box. Because I didn't know how to fix it. I didn't know how to make it work. And actually, it was I actually reached out to Mr. Authentic because he does, audio engineering and stuff. And I asked him, because I needed different cables and splitters and stuff, but it sat in the box for 4 months because I didn't want to deal with it. And it's the same thing because I had the Rode Procaster 2, and I had the Procaster 1, which I loved because I knew where everything was. So I wanted to upgrade because I wanted some better sound and everything else. So when I got the Procaster 2, that sat in the box for about 4 months because I didn't want to deal with it. So yeah, that's it's not a good analogy because then I may sit there for 4 months. Well, the good thing now is you got Google AI. So now I can just Google AI and figure it out. See, Ms. Perry's like, yeah, that ain't going to happen. Zacatech says, I feel like the Giants will be competitive this year, may not win many games, but they will be in. I think the Giants are going to be in a lot of games this year. I still see a 7-win team. I said 5 to 7 wins, and I'm going to go now to 7 on the high end. Because people forget a lot of these guys and a lot of these people, like Patrick, are looking at the name on the back of the jersey and and they're looking at the name. They're like, well, in Madden, I had 2,000 yards with Mooney. Okay, well, that's not Madden. And they're not looking at how they fit in regards also to playing time with who's in front of them, what system they're going to run. Question, Tim question. With a player like Downs who played inside linebacker, how many inside linebackers, though, the years have gone in the top 5? I don't know. That's actually a great question. I have no idea. I know 4 safeties have gone in the top 5 in the last 50 years, but I don't know. It's a good question. I was Sonny Styles. It was like Downs. Well, see, I don't consider down. This is my thing. I don't like the Fano thing now. I was interested in Spencer Fano at 5 until I talked to the draft expert, and then he talked to people in the NFL, and he's saying that certain people want to move Fano to either guard or center. So I'm not taking a guy switched positions to a guard or center at 5. And I know, yes, he's played inside linebacker, but you got to remember this. He's only played 2 years at linebacker. So I still think that Sonny Styles, to me, is a hybrid in regards to the fact that I think he can play on both on the inside and the outside because he's a 3-down guy because of his sideline to sideline ability. But I don't know. I would have to try to find how many inside. Now, I'm going to say not many. True inside linebackers, I don't think many true inside linebackers have gone that high. Tim, can you see 2 tight end set with Picard? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see. And alone, operating a lane for Dart or Scat or Love or Malik on the outside, that would be enough to confuse the defense. I think the Giants are going to run a lot of 3 tight end sets and a lot of 2 tight end sets with Picard. But you got to remember, Picard the last 3 years has only played in 39% of the snaps. And I love people like, well, he's a Pro Bowler. He's a Pro Bowl fullback. How many teams actually have fullbacks? But I do think they are going to run a lot of 3 tight end sets. And I think they'll run a lot of 2 tight end sets with Picard. So, and I do think that is going to create enough lanes, for whomever is going to be running the ball. Jess said Styles might not be there at 5, being that the 2 defense coaches ahead of being the Jets and the Titans. I wouldn't mind Love at 5. Here's the thing, Jesse. If Love's not, if Sonny Styles is not there at 5, that means Reese is. People have Reese going to the Jets, but if Reese is there at 5, I'm snapping up fucking Reese before Love. I peaked with Madden 93 Sega Genesis. Well, then you need to go back and get NFL Football 94, Madden, Joe Montana Football 94 with who's that in the back blocking? Joe Valario, friend of the show. You trade down for a guard and a center, past 10. You're right. I feel like Nagy wants design passes for downs. I think 15 would be his maximum yards. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. Slider says the Jets won't draft a linebacker. They might for Reese or a quarterback. No, they're not taking if the kid from Oregon came out, they would have snatched him up, but he was smart to go like, I'm going back to fucking school. Who the fuck is Sarah Miguel and Elijah? Well, why? What is this? Oh, I'm not even on YouTube. I was about to bitch at YouTube, but I'm not even on YouTube. Who took away their likes? We had 72 likes. Now we only have 70. What's wrong with you? All right, guys, it's 1:02. I have to go. I want to thank the 150 people that still hung out as much as they did. I want to thank everyone on X. I want to thank everyone on Twitter. And please do not forget, let's help out friend of the show. When someone stays 2 hours, they're always friend of the show. Gary Reasons. Join Gary Reasons to Believe, a book launch. It's real easy. March 24th is when his book comes out. And that book, of course, is, as soon as I get the media assets, because we are professionals here, is Reasons to Believe by Gary Reasons, forward by Coach Bill Parcells. You go and you click on the link below. All you got to do is you just put your name. You just put your first and last name with your email. And what you do is you could send a message to Gary directly, because Gary reads all the messages because they go right to his phone. So make sure you go there for Gary. And what happens is on the 24th, you will get a link to Amazon where you can buy the book on Kindle form for $1.49. Someone pointed out, I think it was either AJ or it was Joe Ferries, that's actually cheaper than joining the online Big Blue Club. I got a mojo. Oh my God. We're going to take care of the ad thing today, guys. We're going to take care of the ad thing, but let's help Gary out. Let's help Big Gary out. Number 55, kind of my childhood idol. I'm not going to lie. But go help Gary out. Come on. You got a Mojang ad for what? What'd you get that for? Did you get it for Minecraft? Ciao, everyone. Slider says, see you later. Slider also says, Big Francis is at 5. Luminor can play right guard. No, I'm not moving Luminor out of right tackle. I like Francis, but I'm not moving. I gave Luminor the right amount of money. I'm not going to, hey, if I want to bet, where do I go? Well, when you're done going to Gary Reason's launch book and signing up for did you sign up with Gary? But before you go there, you know where you need to go. You need to go to mightyfanduel.com, fanduel.com, number one sports book in America. We love FanDuel. And if you don't love FanDuel, you're dead to me. And of course I am just joking, except for Patrick. But you go to FanDuel.com, number one sportsbook in America. That's FanDuel.com. Don't forget to game responsibly. I don't think we're going to be streaming tomorrow, but unless something big comes up, make sure, please make sure you have all notifications set on to all notifications, because a lot of people don't have that, I've noticed. So some people are complaining to me they're not getting the emails about or the links or whatever when we're doing the lives, because you got to put all notifications on. If you don't have that button clicked, you don't get all the information. So go do that. And I wish I could figure out, how do you share a screen? Does anyone know how to share a screen? What's media assets? How do you share a screen? All right, everyone just stay here for a minute. How do you share a screen on StreamYard? How do I do that? Like if I wanted to go and sign up for Gary's book and show you how easy it is, how do I share a screen? What is this? What does this do? Okay, well, that evidently is not it. What does this do? No, that doesn't do anything. Okay, that doesn't do anything. I don't know. What does this do? What does that do? I don't know. That didn't do anything. What about this? What does this do? Okay, that just does that. What does this do? That didn't do anything. That's custom layout. That's that. How do you do this? New layout. What does this button do? Okay, I don't know what that button did. I don't know. We're not pushing that button. What does this button do? Manage layout, hotkeys, recording, visual effects. Does anyone know how to share like a browser? Talk to Siri. I don't want to talk to Siri. Thank you, though. All right. Well, I'm going to figure it out. And I also got to figure out how to turn off the ads. But I want to thank everyone for hanging out as long as they did. This is Tim. Don't forget to go help Gary Reasons out. This is Tim. This is New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. And as always, we're out of here.